All right, we're here with Steven. We are at one of our normal meetups for the Beast, and he's going to show us what he decided to play tonight.
So we're debuting a new format here at the Beast of the Bay Clubhouse. What we've decided to do is sort of unite all of the different communities together. We have, some representation from Swedish meta, from the Eternal Central meta, from the Atlantic, from Beast of the Bay itself, and of course...
Hey, are you guys recording Surge Brews right now?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, I don't got a surge on me, but next time maybe. But yeah, so why don't we go take a look at what I've got here for what we're liking to call Strip Maze Factory 40.
This format sounds amazing.
It is amazing. So, we're going to start out with 4 strip mines, because how can you have a format named Strip Maze Factory 40 without strip mine?
That makes sense.
In fact, we're gonna add another few strip mines, and another bunch, and another bunch. You know what? Let's just make it an even 20 strip mines, because it's Strip Maze Factory 40.
So there's no limit on what number of cards you can play in this.
It's just like Alpha 40, except it's Strip Maze Factory 40.
Okay, all right, that makes perfect sense.
So,
right.
I mean, we've heard people get upset about, Maze of Ith being unrestricted in some other formats, and Strip Mine's a pretty good answer to that. So figure you can play unlimited Strip Mines, don't you complain about Maze of Ith.
That's true, that's a good point.
Speaking of Maze of Ith, in Strip Maze Factory 40, you gotta play some mazes. So, why don't we play, 8 mazes?
Those seem good, yeah.
Seems reasonable. Okay. And of course, we do need...
How do you win with this deck?
Well, how are we not winning already, is what I'm saying.
You're winning in life right now. Yeah.
We're going to go to factories.
All right, yeah.
We're going to go for a nice dozen factories.
I prefer these, to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I only had 4 because I only kept 4. Right. I didn't go double dipping for factories at the Vegas event.
All right.
But this is Strip Maze Factory 40.
Awesome.
This is my deck for the night.
Awesome. Okay. All right, so we're actually back with Steven's actual deck.
All right.
So yeah, he's going to tell us about this beautiful deck that he has laid out for us. I'll let him take it away and explain what's going on here.
All right, so this is my white-black prison deck. I know that's kind of a boring name, but that basically describes what it does.
Sure.
It definitely does that part well. I'd say the core of the deck is really just that I started out trying to build an Underworld Dreams deck out of red-black, and then I quickly realized that I like just drawing cards myself. So basically the core of the deck is right here in the middle. It's basically the Howling Mine package. So Howling Mines plus Relic Barrier, and then later Icy Manipulator, because it costs a lot. Your goal is to basically get Howling Mine out with a tapper so that you can be drawing all the extra cards and your opponent isn't. To do that, you have 4 workshops. You have a bunch of other artifact mana to accelerate things into play. You have 4 strip mines, but then your other primary goal in being a prison deck is to lock out your opponent. And the way that I do that generally is with Armageddon. So there's a couple of Armageddons in here, which most people neglect in Eternal Central. So people get all lazy about how many lands they have in play. You've either stripped them down low or whatever. If they eventually build back up again, you can Armageddon and get them back down to nothing.
Sure.
You have Balance for doing that as well. Sure. You're playing the best non-restricted card ever in Disenchant. You've got some Plows, and you have the Abyss for basically handling creatures. You've got a good Sarah Tudor for actually winning the game. It's a 4/4 that lets you search your library for a card and put it in your hand for black and 1.
Really, you can only get Sarah Angel though?
Yeah, it doesn't have vigilance, but it does have flying. So it's a little bit weaker than a Sarah Angel, but not by much. I'd still probably play it over Sarah though.
So Schuler altered that for you?
Yep, Schuler altered that back in, I believe, early 1996.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So and to be clear, this is for regular EC rules, right?
Yes, this fits regular EC rules, but I also play it in all of our Beast meetups, or at least a good number of them. I love main deck City in a Bottle. City in a Bottle is one of my favorite cards, and so you got to play 1 main to punish everybody else. And then your win conditions are basically Black Vice, which you don't let your opponent draw cards until they basically have no permanence worth doing anything with. And then you also have Triskelion, which Triskelion is super easy to cast when you can tap lands for 3.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, I mean, it basically is lock you down, and take away all your resources kind of deck.
Sure. So what do you think this deck has a hard time against?
So I built it to kind of combat like the deck. So it has like a lot more like artifact removal on the board as well. But I guess I'd say like, and like it also does really well against like Arabian aggro because again you have abysses and city in a bottle.
Sure.
I guess I just kind of sometimes get run over by like real regular like weenie decks.
Okay.
Because it's, you know, so I have like one Wrath in the board,
Okay.
but you can't really fight against Black Knight or White Knight
Yeah.
and Order Viper with the Abyss.
Yeah.
And you only have 3 plows and 4 afterboard, so.
Yeah, that's just what I was going to mention. Yeah. See, that seems like a pretty reasonable deck against you.
You also lose pretty hard to Energy Flux,
Okay.
so you can never tap out against an opponent that might be playing Energy Flux. You have to have a disenchant up at all times.
Okay.
So I'd say my worst matchup is literally Energy Flux.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So I assume your sideboard probably helps you against a lot of those matchups you're just mentioning there. So maybe we talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So sideboard, basically, it goes even more like anti the deck and anti Arabian aggro here. So you have a third Armageddon against the land heavy decks like the deck. You got Dust to Dust against the deck as well. You've got an extra plow against some of the weenie decks and also Wrath of God, which comes in. You got 2 more City in a Bottle, bringing you up to 3. You've got a third Abyss in the board as well, which also gives you nice 6 anti-creature things that are pretty good against like the Arabian aggro style decks. You've got 3 Ivory Towers against the weenie decks as well.
These beautifully signed.
Yep,
Ivory
I
Towers.
have to credit Mike for coming up with Ivory signatures on Ivory Tower, which is just amazing.
Very good.
And you've got a 4th Triskelion as well, like which also helps in like some of the other like artifact on artifact matchups where you got to board out Abyss. 4 Triskelions is kind of a must because you need more win conditions when they're going to go all artifact aggro on you as well. So yeah, I wish I could find something better to play against like Energy Flux, but it's really hard in just white and black because I can't play like Disc or something like that to blow it out.
Yeah, I mean, but you've got probably one of the best answers.
Yeah, 4 Disenchant is pretty good,
Yeah,
but
that's pretty good.
But Energy Flux can be kind of a beating.
Yeah.
It's another one of my favorite cards, unfortunately, but this deck doesn't like it.
Yeah. You could play Presence of the Master.
That is interesting.
Probably the only other white
That
card.
is an interesting option and potentially worth it.
Probably
I
not.
may have to go try that out.
I mean,
I got some sideboard slots I can mess with for sure.
You get some points for the artwork. I like the artwork on that card.
That's true.
I also want to point out you have some wonderfully signed power here. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, all the power is double signed by the artist and Richard Garfield.
It's awesome.
My library
Full beta set, I think.
Library, yeah, all beta. Library is also double signed. The Saratutor is also double signed. It's hard to tell. Richard signed it across the edge.
Oh, I see.
As well,
On the right side there.
just like the Moxes.
Yeah. Very cool.
Love the signatures.
Yeah, signatures are very cool. That's awesome. Oh, I see this one too.
Yep. Another classic from way back in the day.
You got a white bordered planes there. What's up with that, huh?
Yeah,
What's the card doing over here?
I couldn't afford another black border planes, but no, this is the summer planes.
You scrub.
I have a handful of summer cards, and I like them because they stand out. So it's good to have a deck. Always have one in there to keep people on their toes.
All right, so maybe we'll just close this out. Do you have any words of wisdom for us? It can be about anything, your deck, life, whatever you want.
Keep playing old school and be excellent to each other.
Be excellent. All right, sounds good, man. All right.
All right, thanks.